Morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are based on. It's a small try from my side to those who are trying for the CKAD exam. I will be covering all the topics and hands-on as much I can. Okay, so I'm just trying to help everyone who is trying to give examination for the CubeCTL. I will be thoroughly give you tips and tricks in between my practical session, and this would be helpful for anyone to easily crack the exam. Okay, so just a pre-assumption that you guys are familiar with the concepts of CCAD, and if not, then in the consecutive videos after these sessions, I will be putting some more video from basic to advanced level, so that the concept, how it works, everything like networking, everything I'll explain in that session. Not taking too much of time, let's start with our propaganda. Right now, I'm trying to let's start this slideshow from here. So yeah, so if you see that I have covered all the topic which is going to be come in the CCAT examination. So now, right now they are giving 17 questions, so you have to pass 65 number you have to bring to sorry, 66 number you have to bring so that you can pass the examination. Okay, so I have divided the concepts. I have divided the in the module, so that each module you can cover easily, and you will understand that okay, for these module, this is the set of question you should practice more. Okay, so let's start with the first one, the core concept. Okay, so this contains actually 13% of the questions that comes in the examination. So for this one you don't need too much of installation. I just have a setup in my local in my laptop. Okay, so just download the, if you see here, right, just download the Docker and the Kubernetes, and that's all, and you will get a bash prompt here. So let's start with a few questions before you start taking any questions, right? So if you see here, before you take any start of the question, let's go to the next page. So you can see here, these are the questions that I am going to cover in this session. So these are I think 9 questions I have jotted on for the 13% of the core concept that is going to be asked in the examination, but this is very helpful for you. So let's start. So yeah, so before the start of running any of the kubectl command, right, I prefer setting the shortcut for the kubectl, because in the exam you don't have to waste your time in writing kubectl so many times. Actually it will save your time. So we'll make a alias k equal to kubectl. Okay, this will set the alias as a k for the kubectl, and also I'll export the byte. I'll tell you, export, just export this one, because many of the times you do a dry run of the to create the YML of the file, YML of the deployment, and then you run it and amend it there. So writing this code like dry run equal to client minus o YAML. So this will actually output the deployment as a YML. So you don't need to write this line. So it will save a lot of time in the during the examinations. Okay. So let's start with the questions. The first question, if you see here, is that create a namespace called my namespace and a pod with name nginx called nginx on this namespace. So first you just remember that whenever you start the examination, you have to very much careful that which namespace you are in. So sometimes they also, you have to set the cluster, otherwise you will not get the questions. You will find that, oh, where is the question, or if when you try to run the kubectl command, you will see, oh, I'm not able to get the desired output. So you have to first, whatever it written on the question, you have to set the cluster namespace. Okay, so yeah, let's start with our first question. The first question was we have to create namespace called my namespace. We'll create a new namespace first. So now you don't need to write kubectl again and again. So k create namespace, or you can use ns also. So create namespace my namespace. I think this is the name, right? Yeah, my namespace. Okay, when you enter it, it actually creates a my namespace for you. Now what is the next question that I have put it down here is, you have to create a image called nginx on this namespace. So how will you do that? So k, always you try to give the namespace name at the beginning. Okay, so k minus namespace my namespace, then the name of the image, that is nginx minus image equal to nginx. Okay, and anything more I have jotted down here? Nothing. So yeah, so if you see, right, you have to just run this. So I mean, you have to create the pod for this, right? So k, give the namespace of this one, then if you put run, okay, so it will actually create the, it will not wait for anything, it will create the pod for the nginx. How will you check whether it is running, what is the status of the pod? So k get, now you see this, then the namespace you have provided, so always you have to give the namespace. So namespace my namespace get pods. Okay, so it will tell you that, oh, so you see that this has been been pulled off. There is some issue here, right? How will you check that there is some issue with this one? So what we can do, so k minus namespace my namespace get events. Okay, so this will tell you that what happened to the, what has happened during the pulling, during you were creating it, right? So it is saying that unknown. So you see this, right? So it is saying that this this you, it is not able to find it, because if you see here, the name I have given is incorrect. Okay, so quickly we will correct it. So before correcting it, right, we have to delete the pod that you have created already. So what we can do, namespace and then delete pod. You see the pod name, okay, the pod name is nginx only. So just delete. So it is deleted, right? Now we will create it again. So how we will create it? So namespace nginx, just correct the name. Okay, now check the pod again. It is trying to creating, it is creating. Okay, yeah, now you see it is running. Okay, so the first question is completed here. Next move to the next question. Before that, I also showed you that how you can debug it. So just get the event, just check what happened to the, what happened to the pod, and then do the correction and run it again. Okay, now create the pod, that is just using by the YAML. So how will you like, it is a way directly you have run the pod, right? So there is one more way to do it. So like, just go up to there, there is a way to just output the, through the YAML also you can create the pod. So uh, let's make a nginx one and the image nginx, and then we will not create this. Okay, we will not run it immediately. We will save this in a YAML file called 1.yml. But before that, we are actually making it a dry run. You remember that, right? I just created one shortcut for the dry run. So just give a $do and 1.yml. You see it is saved without error. That means the command that you have written is correct. So now you do a vi 1.yml. Okay, so you see the YAML for the pod that you just trying to create. it is not yet created. Okay, it is just been output to this YAML file. So now you see that the image, the name, okay, there are a few things, we will cover everything later on, but you see that the image is nginx. Now what we will do, we will run this. So how you can run this YAML to create the pod. So use the keyword create minus f and give the YAML file name. So you see it is nginx1 is created. Again, how will you see the if the pod is running or not? So k get pod, and it is in the namespace, right? So k minus minus namespace my namespace, okay, get pods. And if you put minus w, it will actually keep on rolling the logs. Okay, you don't need to run the command again and again. You see this nginx is working again. So there are two ways you can create a pod. Okay, so now we'll move it to the second question. Create the pod that was described. Second question is done. Third question, create a busybox pod that run the ls command. So when you create a pod, right, we can actually run any command also while it is starting. So like it's a kind of argument that you are passing to the pod and telling that the moment it started you run this command. Okay, so how we can do this? So k run busybox. Now I am not giving any namespace, so it will be going directly to the default namespace. Okay, so k run busybox minus minus image equal to busybox. Then we will use the command because we have to give a command during the startup, right? So the command should be one more thing. Okay, we will also put restart equal to never. So in case this container is failing, we will not trying to restart. So for that one you can just give restart equal to never. So once it failed, it will not going to restart that. Okay, later on you can check the logs and you can rectify, and then you can actually restart it again. Okay, now to make it run, okay, like if you see I have given uh, k run, right? So it will start the busybox image under the name busybox, but we have to also run one command ls. So this command, right, minus minus command, I am passing the ls command. So if you see mark here, so minus it, then double dash, and then a space. Okay, and then the command that you want to run, and just run it. Let's see the output. It will take, yeah. So the ls command, right, actually gives you, it went inside this container. Okay, this run actually create a pod. So this pod contains a container which is running this image box, right, sorry, bg box, right? So it went inside that, and it is nothing but a linux box itself, which is actually containing all the your applications. So it is at the root level somewhere, and it gives you all the folder structure, because ls will always give you the current folder structure. Okay, so this, I hope this should be clear to all. Yeah, next, moving to the next question. Okay, so we want to create some resource quota. Okay, so when you want to create a resource quota, then how will you create it? So it is asking for the create a resource quota, req quota, and we have to set the hard limit of one CPU, one memory, and two ports with. And okay, so how will we can achieve this? So remember, we don't need to remember each and everything. Okay, so for resource quota, like k, I'll take a help and I can directly use that. I'll show you how. K create resource quota minus minus help. Okay, so it will, when you, the moment you put help, right, you see that it 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 gives you some options. Okay, so you see that quota is the correct word, not the resource quota is the correct word. So what we can do, we can again go back, and we will write quota minus minus help. So you see, you get exact whatever you wanted. And if in the example, if you see in the exam also, you have to be very clever, we have to be very quick and clever, that okay, using the help, how you will just get the value which is actually required. So I will not do anything. Okay, I'll copy it from here, I'll tell you. So from control C, control V, oh sorry, it actually created that one with my quota, but we don't need this one, right? So let's correct this. Let's do it whatever is required in the question. So we have to create one quota whose name is, what is the name? We'll see the name again. This is REQ quota. Okay, REQ REQ quota, and then it is asking to for with a hard limit 1 GB and 2 ports, right? So we'll copy this value, minus minus hard 1 GB and 2 ports. So this is exactly what is required, but it is asking not to create this one. We have to just we have to only just create the output. So what we will do, we will again use the dollar do and then 2.yml. Now vi 2.yml, we are not creating it, just we have created the yml for this one. Okay, for this resource quota, that's it. So in the exam, whatever they say, do it, don't do anything extra. Okay, now get ports on all namespaces. All namespaces means how will you get the name? So it's very simple, get ports minus a. So it will give you all the pods which has been created. You see, right, in my namespace we have created nginix and then nginx1, and then the default we have created the bg box. So you can see all the pods name here. All right, now moving to the next one. Yeah, next slide. So sixth question is create a pod with image nginx called ng image and expose the traffic on port 80. So what does it means? The question itself saying you that you have to create one nginx pod, okay, container, and you have to expose the traffic on port 80. That means that anyone can access that pod using the port 80. Okay, so again you don't need to remember anything. So let's create the first, you remember the name ng image, right? So let's go here, k create, sorry, k run the name of the pod, it's ng image, right? Name of the pod is ng image. Okay, minus minus image equal to nginx. Okay, then it is trying to it asking you to expose it on port 80. How will you do that? You can just go for help. Okay, I know how to do it. So you see there is a way to expose the port, so use this one, minus minus port. Okay, so remove this one, minus minus port equal to 80. So it will actually expose that port on 80. Let's see. So it is created, just k get pods minus w. So you see that it is actually containing the, now see it changed to running, right? So now your question is complete. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Yeah, now we have to change the pods image to nginx 171. This is very, these questions you should be on tip, like how to update, how to change, how to change the label, how to update the images. So for this one, right, case set, if you don't remember, just press help. Okay, so you see that case set image is one option. So case set image. Okay, again if you don't know the next option, do an help. Now you see that here you get all the answers. So case set image, type and name. Type is the pod which we are trying to change, and what is the name? ng image, right? You see here the next is, what is the name of the container? The name of the container is actually the name of the pod. So ng image equal to, now this is going to be changed to nginx 1.7.1. okay, 1.7.1. so you see the image is updated. How will you know that it is updated? So first just see the pods. Now you see it is running. Okay, it is running now. Okay, now yeah, you can edit and see that how you can edit the YAML file associated with this. So KEdit pod, the name of the pod ng image. Okay, so when you edit this one, you can see that this is the actual YAML file which is getting generated when you run the kubectl run command. So you see the nginx is now updated with 1.7.1. so we are good with this. Okay, these are very easy questions, but you have to be on tip how to quickly switch to help and then come back, and just you have to go, you have to be on the point where you know that okay, from here I can actually get my answers from the help itself. Okay, now question number 8, get nginx IPs created in step 6. So we have created one pod. Okay, and use a temp busybox image to wget its root directory. What does it means? That since we have exposed the traffic on port 80 and we want to we want to hit this pod, okay, and check what is the what it gets when we hit the root directory. So the thing is that how we can, first we have to find out the pod IP where it is running. Okay, so let's go and do that. So how we can do the same command, get pod, instead of -w put -o wide, so it will give you the IP address on which it is running. Okay, so we are ng image is running. Okay, it is running and the IP is this one. Okay, now I will tell you, using this IP and this image is running on this pod, right? So on pod it is exposed on port number 80. So what we can do, we have to through the busy box we will run this IP colon 80, then it will give you the desired result. How we can do it? So k run busy box minus minus image equal to busy box minus minus run sorry, see this one, right? We don't want this busy box to be the we only want to run it for testing, right? So we will delete it once it is it done his work. So we can put minus minus rm minus it to go inside the container, then minus minus restart. We don't want to restart if it fails. Okay, then this is the command. Okay, so you see minus it under this container, what we are trying to run, we will use wget. Okay, minus o and the IP address. What is the IP address that we got? The IP address that we got is this one, control v colon 80, right? Hopefully it will give you some output. Okay, the busy box is already running, so this is the thing. So we have to delete first. Okay, k delete, or if you don't want to delete it, just name it something else. This busy box, right? We will name it to busybox1 rather than deleting it, because this is a temp one, right? Anyway it will delete it once it is once it get the IP port and the, yeah, you see this one, right? It gives you an output, right? Thank you for using the nginx. This is from where it got it got from this step. When you created this pod, this busy box entered in this one. Okay, and on traffic on port 80 it tried to get the base path, and it gives you a default page output. Okay, now for the last question, create an nginx port, set an env variable myvar and check the env value. So if you see this question, right, so this is very important and very not tricky, but again we will use the same help method. So k, what is the question again? Create an nginx port, right, and we have to set the environment. So k run nginx 2, because one is running, nginx 2 minus minus image equal to nginx. Okay, now we have to set the environment variable, right? So we will take a help. So you see this minus minus env, it is saying So it's very easy for you now, right? So minus minus env equal to, what is the key and value I have mentioned here. So this is my val1 and my val1 is the value. So my val1 equal to my val1. Okay, so this will set the environment variable, but it is also asking you to, okay, let's first create this. Okay, let's see if it is getting created. Sorry, I put wide. So w nginx2 is running, right? So how will you know that what is the environment variable? Okay, so there are many ways, but one of the ways, just get the logs of this. So k get logs, k get log, and the pod name. So pod name is nginx2. Sorry, it's not get, it's k log. Oh, sorry, logs. Sorry for that. So if you see this, right? Yeah, so in the logs it is not printing. So what we can do, uh, we can go inside and check that. Okay, how we can go inside the pod? So k x exec. Okay, I'll do it in the next session. Okay, this one, since I am overshooting this time. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching my video. Next session we will be covering the next topic. Next topic is multi-container pods. So just bear with me and try to practice whatever I have mentioned here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you so much. Bye bye.